listen. Oh my God. Just like a freaking symphony. Is this the perfect car? Is it? It might be. This might be the perfect car. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another review. Today's video is very special because parked behind me is a 2018 Porsche 911 991.2 GT3. This vehicle is incredible, but what makes this video so special today is that it's not a rental car like the rest of our videos. This car is actually available for sale at MPH Club. And in today's video, we're gonna dive into all of the features. We're gonna comb through the window sticker and show you what's so special about this car. At the end of the video, I'll share with you some details on how you could secure it for yourself. Without further ado, let's get into the review. The Porsche 911 GT3 has a long-standing history of being the Porsche track weapon. And a lot of the specs and options on this car lend itself to being such a weapon. But the first option I want to talk about is this paint. It's called Guards Red, and it has lots of accents that tie and marry together throughout the car. The next one I want to point out is this factory carbon fiber on the side mirrors. This is roughly a $1,400 option, but it's nice when you have these extra carbon fiber details from factory. Now, moving along, the next thing I want to point out are the 20-inch wheels in the front and back with a center cap because race car and matching red calipers. Lastly, the last thing I want to point out on the exterior of the car is this giant wing and the air intakes here, which funnel cold air into the flat six 4.0 liter engine. Let me show you what it looks like when this rear hatch is open. So, underneath this giant spoiler and these two air intakes, you're gonna get access to the flat six air cooling system. You can't actually see the engine from here, which is a little disappointing, but it is a mid-engine. It's kind of underneath all of this, but this is where the cold air comes in, and these two blowers are gonna take the hot air out, keeping this air cooled. Automatically, you see a whole bunch of options and fun toys on the interior of this car. The first thing that'll probably catch your eye are these insane carbon bucket seats. Now this with the Alcantara and the red stripe down with the engraved GT3. This option costs roughly $5,200 from factory, so it's not a cheap add-on. Now you'll also see carbon fiber details on the interior, all of this black Alcantara and the red stitching. All of these are extra options, but really go a long way for the design of this car. Another thing you're definitely gonna notice is the Alcantara steering wheel with the red 12 o'clock notch. It's a cheap option when you're speccing out from factory, but it goes a long way aesthetically. You'll also notice this is not a manual. This is the 7-speed dual clutch PDK transmission system. Purists don't love that it's not a manual. However, this gives you a launch control system that is terrifying. This is gonna rev all the way up to 6,600 RPM before you launch, and it gives you an insane 0 to 60 time. We're going to show you what that feels like and what it's like in just a little bit, so stay tuned. You're also gonna notice the track lap chronometer is a matching Guards Red to go with the paint on the outside. Now that option is extra, but it does go a long way and ties this whole look of a black and red track weapon all together. 911s are not famous for having a ton of storage space, but the back, as you can see, does not have rear seats, but does have storage, so you can take stuff with you. Before we turn the flat six on, I just want to point out a couple more features really quick. How these bucket seats, how high these sidewalls come that really grip you when you're taking turns on a track. It's awesome. And then something that all Porsches have is that the key itself is in the shape of the car and you actually have to turn it. Today's modern vehicles, all you have to have is the key in the cabin and press a button. But this is kind of old school in the sense of sounds like music. So we are about to hit the road in the 2018 Porsche 911 GT3, and this car has very low miles, so we're not going to be doing too much driving. We're just going to take it around the block. I'm going to tell you what it's like and just kind of share the experience. This is the 7-speed PDK automatic transmission. We're going to see how it shifts right now. Gosh, these sounds. This car is fun. Every single bit of that was adrenaline. The power was ridiculously smooth, not jerky at all. The shifts were lightning fast. It is unlike the other Porsches I've driven. Just trying to find the words to describe how it's so different. When I sat in this car, the bucket seats reminded me of other track-like cars we've had in the fleet before. I thought, oh, this is gonna be similar to like a 600 LT experience where it's just straight race car and not even comfortable. But I will say it is surprisingly comfortable for a track weapon. I can see how this could perform really well on a closed track, but out on the street, dare I say, you could daily something like this and be very comfortable. The power is really smooth, so it's not so jerky like the Aventador with its single transmission, violent shifts. All right, we're gonna get to do another little baby launch right here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It's just like ridiculously fast and so smooth. It's like you don't even know how fast you're going or how quick it just got up to speed. Its RPM meter on the actual meter goes up to 10,000. The red line starts at 9,000. So you're shifting way higher in an RPM band than most exotics or most sports cars. So you get that higher pitch sound. It's very satisfying to drive. That's to say the least. Like you would expect, any track car, suspension is stiff, steering is stiff, and you do have the ability to control some of those features. You have some of the buttons down here to modulate the exhaust, the suspension. There is a sport mode where we can put the PDK specifically into sport mode, and we can figure out if that feels any different now. Whoa, it actually does shift faster. When you're in sport mode, I'm sure a lot of things are happening, but you do notice, you hear the engine a bit more, the exhaust is louder, it is a little stiffer, suspension and handling wise. So all of those things, they're just very minor adjustments. I imagine if you're on a track and you're really pushing the limits of this car, you're gonna feel that difference a lot more dramatically. That's not what we're doing here today. This car is very low miles, so we're not gonna be pushing it. We're not gonna be doing anything of the nature with this car. It's really special and it's a piece of art, and honestly, I feel lucky that we get the chance to review it. So shout out to all you guys watching. Thank you guys for watching these reviews. It does allow us this opportunity to review some really sweet cars. And if you are watching and you want to take this car home, reach out. It is available today and not tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for sticking with us to the end of the video. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. It does help the growth of our channel a lot. And if you like this Porsche 911 GT3 as much as we do, on our website, there is a list of vehicles always available for sale of luxury and exotics, which is separate from our rental fleet. So go ahead and check that out if you're in the market, and reach out to MPH Club for all of your future rental or car buying needs. Thanks again, subscribe to the channel for more, and we'll see you in the next one.